finally, because if it's not, that would be another big shame. And last but not least, let's see what's going on here with Facebook. It is Wednesday evening, and so far, again, we are looking at some quiet numbers out there. Hopefully it's going to stay that way into the next couple of days. We'll be looking at a bit of a downturn on the temperatures as we get into and around next week. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little while, so stay tuned for more on that. And of course, naturally, we do have a hiccup where it is Facebook is concerned. It's always Facebook that always seems to have the worst potential for getting live. All right, that's better. So let's see here. Hang on one second. Everybody on YouTube, please stand by. And again, this is weather overtime for okay. Everything is where it needs to be there. Everything's working over there. Everything's working over there. So I think we are ready to go. And what am I forgetting? Get out of there. I don't need that. I don't need links. Why are you not working properly? As per usual, again, Facebook is the one that is always having issues. Worst time around here. It'd be nice if we could get somebody on here to really help out with everything. That would take care of things from behind the scenes at least a little bit anyway. Okay, there we go. All right, everybody stand by. Here we go. I'm going live on Facebook, and this should get us going for everything that's been decently quiet for tonight. Again, the possibility of getting more active weather in here when it comes to severe weather, just not happening at this point. So good news again is where it's very nice and quiet for the time being. All right, we are live and direct on Facebook. Welcome to the show. If you've got questions about the forecast, please drop them into the comments section. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, and on Facebook. So welcome aboard. If you have questions, again, drop them into the comments section about weather here. We're coming to you live from Chattanooga, Tennessee, keeping you updated as to what's going on with the forecast, and this is your opportunity to ask questions. If you have any questions about what is going on with the weather, we'll get to a lot of things for tonight. We'll talk again about what's going on with our forecast, which is going to be a little bit on the chillier side as we go into the next couple of days. Toward about the weekend, no severe weather, no winter weather, nothing in the way of huge amounts of rainfall, so decently quiet overall, and looks like it should be, again, staying that way for at least a few days. Chances of rain will continue over the next few days. We'll show you more about that coming up here in just a little bit. Currently, again, we have had an incredibly mild set of days. We've been at our high temperature in just the last few hours of 64. That's about 12 above normal and about 11 from a record high that hasn't been broken since 1890. That is some very warm conditions out there. We're now behind for the year by almost 3 inches of rainfall, and the month of February has been a dry one. Over 1.5 inches of rain is what we need just to break even for this month. So we are starting 2026 on a very dry note. Off on the golf course tomorrow, it is going to be a bit breezy, showers, best possibility in the morning, and then dwindling through the day, but expecting some slices or hooks out there as you get into the forecast for tomorrow. And that goes for pretty much anything and everything going on outdoors, to where we will see, again, some showers early on, maybe some leftover showers by about lunchtime. And these temperatures are going to be something else. Lows tomorrow morning are going to be warmer than our typical high temperatures. So that gives you an idea as to what we're going to be starting off with. Those southerly winds behind our latest cold front will again be switching back around to the south and giving us some very mild conditions for the rest of the next couple of days, and temperatures very close to record high status out there. Numbers into the next few days after that, that's again when we'll start to see the downturn. We'll take a look at the extended forecast for you coming up here in just a little bit, so stay tuned for more there. We do have some light, and I emphasize the word light, showers over parts of the area Seeing again some very trace amounts of rainfall coming down. Not that much, just enough to mess up your windshield. All that drifting east-southeast across the News 12 viewing area right before we hit 10 o'clock on Wednesday evening. So again, for right now, little if anything to worry about. Again, I doubt we're going to see anything in the way of major amounts of thunderstorms anytime soon, but it is going to be imperative to pay attention to what's going on with the forecast, because again, it is going to be that time of the year that we need to pay attention. And statistically, we'll show you that in just a minute in our poll results page. That'll be coming up here in just a little while, so stay tuned for more on that with News 12. The big picture at this point, News 12 viewing area here, southeast Tennessee, western North Carolina, north central, northwest Georgia, and northeast Alabama. That's the extent of our viewing area counties. One storm system, that's what gave us the rainfall this last weekend. That is now slowly making its way off and into portions of the western Atlantic. Then, whoops, sorry about that. Computer gets a little over-eager depending on where you accidentally click the mouse button there. Now we have another system coming in from the plain states. That is whipping up a lot of wind. It also helped with the nasty weather and the fatal avalanche conditions out into parts of Colorado. Not only do we have this system coming on through and the other system that just moved through, we are going to be seeing better potential of, again, more possibilities of rainfall as we see more cold fronts, more storm systems lined up. Again, News 12 viewing area way over here. We've got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 systems lined up all the way to eastern Russia. So that means we have got several days worth of potential rainfall coming up. Doesn't look like, again, anything in the way of a deluge, doesn't look like anything going on in the way of severe weather. Again, exceptionally quiet. And at this time of the year, that's both welcome and a little eerie in and of itself. So we could definitely use some help in keeping things quiet. But as of right now, there is nothing that shows any major systems affecting us. Now, with a couple of these systems moving in, excuse me, from the west, this is going to drag down a lot of cold air out of Canada. So we will see the potential of some much colder weather heading our way as we get into and around the latter half of the weekend. We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast for you coming up here in just a little while. Our latest storm system, again, will be approaching the area. Scattered light showers tomorrow, but as we go into the afternoon, most of that should be lifting back up. Again, News 12 viewing area here. This storm system coming through will take that moisture mainly ahead of that warm front and push it all the way back up into New England and the mid-Atlantic states. Then the trailing cold front will give us our next chance of rain Thursday night into Friday morning. Going a little farther, next storm system makes its way in from the Midwest, right over the same track that this one did, but this one will stretch a little farther, what they call digging farther to the southwest. That also will stir up some potential areas of showers. And again, I would say maybe a thunderstorm, but right now we're just not looking at anything in the way of severe weather. So that, again, is some very good news for us. That system clears the area going into Saturday afternoon. So some remnant showers possible there. And then Sunday looks to be fairly quiet. Now, if it gets cold enough, north central Georgia, western North Carolina, the Appalachians, east of Chattanooga, there could be some snowfall coming down. At the surface, it's going to be just almost iffy, kind of warm enough, but that's going to be about, excuse me, everybody here at News 12 is suffering from something related to some form of illness, and my throat gets a little dry at this time of the year with the heat being on at times. This system clears the area, goes out into the Atlantic, and then it looks like we catch a bit of a break going into next week. But this does mean that colder air will be coming back down our direction. So we should see a fairly chilly end to the weekend. Numbers back around freezing as we go towards Sunday evening, but at least it will be on the dry side out there. So low temperatures tonight, not even close to where they should be for this time of the year. Northeast Alabama back in the mid to high 50s. Now again, remember normal low temperatures for this time of the year, low to mid 50s. So we're going to be well above that. That's the type of weather that we are seeing at this point. That's going to give us these incredibly mild numbers. Same thing for north central and northwest Georgia. Numbers back in the high 50s to around the low 60s. Western North Carolina, higher elevations here may see some lower 50s, but not seeing any signs of anything involving frost or freezing conditions. And likewise, southeast Tennessee, numbers should be in the high 50s, just not picking up anything in the way of very cold weather, at least for now. Again, that could be changing as we get into the course of the next few days. So as this next system gets a little bit closer to us. So I would be prepared for some colder weather as we get into and around the area coming up toward about Sunday. That, again, could be a problem for outdoor activities, as could the rain showers out there. That could be a bit of another problem. Take a quick look around the area as we approach 10 o'clock. Mostly overcast skies downtown on the 1% list Scenic City camera. All of our cameras available on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network. If you'd like to see that, go to WDEF.com/weather. Hamilton County Courthouse, again, looking back to the north and east. It's a quiet evening out there. Should, again, hopefully remain that way outside of maybe some scattered showers. Traffic on 2475 moving along pretty well. The trucks out for tonight, I believe, well, it looks like we got a semi-truck with the hazard lights on, but this is, again, 24 north to, or 75 north to 24 west. That's heading into that construction zone. That could be some slowdowns there, but we're not seeing anything in the way of fog or rainfall, maybe some raindrops again here and there. Chattanooga Zoo camp camera, Holtzclaw Avenue, heavy traffic at rush hour, Missionary Ridge, and again, everything quiet for this evening. Temperatures at the airport, we are back into the lower 60s, and those southeasterly winds will be continuing through the evening. That's going to keep the temperatures very much above normal. Matter of fact, numbers have dropped a degree or two in the last about 4 to 5 hours, and that's as cool as it has gotten for the entire day today. So things continue to be very much above normal all the way on through. Let's go, before we get to the rest of the forecast, let me get to some extracurricular stuff here. Thanking all of our viewers for sending in some amazing pictures, and today's picture no less spectacular. Thank you very much, News 12 viewer Mary Glover from Athens, for a beautiful view. Don't know if this is sunrise or sunset, but some nice clouds underlit by the sun there, and a couple of jet contrails showing up. Excuse me, nice combination there in the pre-dawn or post-sunset hours. So thank you very much for that picture. And if you've got pictures, we'd love to see what you're seeing out there. So please see what you've got out there. As long as it involves weather, we would love to see it. Send it to us by email. Go to our webpage at WDEF.com/photos, or you can drop your pictures off at our social media pages in the comments section. But please, please, please give us a description and or location so we know where you were and what you were looking at. That would help us out here very much so. So please, again, let us know a little bit more about that. All right, taking a look at our weather poll question of the day, courtesy of our sponsor. Well, this page doesn't have a sponsor right now. If you would like to be the sponsor of the page, please contact our sales departments. Would love to have you on board for that if you'd like to here at News 12. According to the Mississippi State Tornado Database, which month is the worst month for tornadoes in Tennessee? February, March, April, or May? And the majority of voters picked the correct month. So we have not even really begun to see the peak of severe weather potential just yet. There's probably going to be some long days and long nights ahead of us as we get into that severe weather season. So again, this is the time to make certain you're prepared for this. If you've never had a chance, and by the way, thanks to everybody for checking in at our page. That's at WDEF.com/vote now. If you would like to find out more about that, go to our website for more details. And we'd love to have you along for the ride. If you would like to take a look and see what we have on our website to take a look at there to see, excuse me, what's going on. Now, also, this is a very great project to take a look at from Mississippi State. This is a great site to go to. You go to midsouthtornadoes.msstate.edu, and you can see a little bit more about where and when and what type of tornadoes happen. This is zoomed in on the News 12 viewing area, and notice from Chattanooga through Cleveland up to about Athens, Tennessee, a pretty good amount of tornadoes have happened over the years. These are all ranked by size, by track, by estimated wind speed, and this is just for the eastern Tennessee area under the jurisdiction of the National Weather Service in Morristown. If you would like to see other jurisdictions, there's tons of them all the way across the country. This is an excellent database for looking at various tornadoes that have come down. You can even click on the various paths, and it will give you, again, all the details as to what went on, where, direction of travel, speed of winds, all sorts of stuff like that. Weather data like this is very incredible to take a look at. You can download it in CSV or KML values and really get a feel as to how active it can be. And notice it's not bereft of tornadoes here in eastern Tennessee. You can still pick up a very good deal of them in and around this particular area, even though the terrain can be very hilly and or mountainous. So if you'd like to see that again, midsouthtornadoes.msstate.edu. From Mississippi State, a tornado database. Very cool to take a look at if you would like to, again, see more about what is going on there. Taking a look at Island Cove, Lake Chickamauga, you're looking back to the west, a lot of sky shine showing up here. So again, for tonight, not much happening where it comes to anything in the way of huge amounts of weather, but we will see, again, some showers out there tonight and into tomorrow. Windy conditions tomorrow, not so much in the next few days. And notice we go from the high 70s on Thursday down into the mid-40s for highs by Monday. So we've got quite the dip coming in temperatures, even back into the mid-20s for Tuesday morning before we warm back up again. That's quite the bounce coming our direction. So we've got some very big changes in the temperatures, down and then back upwards again. So I hope you like variety, because that is exactly what we're going to be picking up here in the course excuse me, of the next several days. So be prepared for a lot. No sign of any winter weather, not with temperatures like this. No sign of any severe weather. No sign of any heavy rainfall leading to flash flooding. So we've got some decent conditions out there for mid to late February. This is not too terrible. It could be very active for this time of the year, and as of right now, it is not. So very happy to be able to tell everybody about this. So for right now, again, this is very good news for us. Outdoor activities, you might get a window in between Sunday and early Wednesday, but it will be much more chilly there, and chances of rain should be limited from Thursday night to Friday morning, Friday night to Saturday morning, and then dry for the rest. Most of the weekend actually looks okay, but it is going to be 20 degrees cooler as we get into and around the area from Saturday into Sunday. So that is going to be very much on the noticeable side if you're going to be doing anything outdoors, but at least we will be drying out. We need the rainfall, no question about that, but as of right now, doubtful we're going to be seeing too much of anything out there for the time being, so good news on that. If you'd like to think globally and act locally, this is the place where we try to give you as much in the way of environmental information as possible. Local group called Green Steps in Chattanooga, sponsoring neighborhood cleanups, your opportunity to get your hands dirty a little bit and to help clean up and pitch in when it comes to our neighborhoods. It's our planet, and it is our parks and green spaces, and it may not be your garbage, but everybody can bend down, pick up a piece of litter, put it where it needs to be, in the trash or hopefully a recycle bin at some point. Coming up in about a couple of weeks, March 7th, Orchard Knob Neighborhood Reservation, 306 North Orchard Knob Avenue. And then, excuse me, Sunday, March 8th, one day after this one, Citico Creek Litter Cleanup meet at the Carver Recreation Center, 600 North Orchard Knob Avenue, and RSVP or find more information at the website here at greenstepschat.com/events. Your opportunity, again, to show, again, what we can do, what we can all do to help out when it comes to garbage and litter and pollution. We may not be able to clean up everything, but we can do a good job in trying to clean up as much as we can. Many hands make light work, so if you'd like to help out on this, greenstepschat.com/events if you'd like to take a look at more. If you'd like to get involved in emergency communication, great opportunity coming up at the end of the month. Dalton, Georgia, the Dalton Amateur Radio Club will be holding what is called a Ham Fest. Amateur radio operators, also known as ham radio operators. If you'd like to get involved with this and find out more, this is a good opportunity to learn about what it takes to get a license. It only costs, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, $15 for an FCC license. Yes, I am an amateur radio operator, and yes, I will do my best to talk up the hobby as much as possible, because it's a great hobby. And my one regret from getting my license 25 years ago was that I didn't get it earlier so I could have enjoyed the hobby that much more. It is really a great opportunity to learn more about communication, about the law, about safety, and about the fine folks in the amateur radio community who want to help when it comes to things like severe weather, or just teaching younger generations about, again, communication. And before anybody gets on here and gets persnickety and says, well, ham radio is dying, it's boring, it's useless, no, it is absolutely not. And there's a lot of disaster situations to where that can be attested to. This is more than just a catchphrase. When all else fails, amateur radio works. It's a great opportunity for kids to learn a lot more, or for you to get involved in a very neat hobby. So if you'd like to know more, Saturday, February 28th, North Georgia Fairgrounds in Dalton, Georgia. More information available at their website, and we'll be posting more on social media over the course of the next several days and weeks. Want to remind everybody, coming up tomorrow, if you live in Bradley County, Tennessee, around the Cleveland area, Bradley Central High School, 6 p.m. Eastern, Thursday the 19th. Again, that's tomorrow or today if you're watching the repeat late at night or early tomorrow morning. Bradley Central High School, totally free. Learn to be a Skywarn spotter from the National Weather Service in Morristown. Meetings last about an hour, hour and a half. It's your opportunity to learn much more when it comes to what goes on and how you can help spot for severe weather. The eyes and ears of the folks who are spotters on the ground, that is what can help people like me get information out to the rest of the community. Knowing what to look for and what to report back to the National Weather Service by phone, by amateur radio, through your local law enforcement agency, this can really help. So if you'd like to volunteer, totally free, but again, please make certain you show that you are going to be there. Hang on a second, need to move this menu out of the way. Make certain you're going to be there and let them know just in case they need to get a bigger room. Weather.gov/MRX, that's the 3-letter code for the National Weather Service in Morristown. Again, it's tomorrow night. Register for that seat, and again, show up and learn more and become a spotter. Again, hour and a half out of your time to learn more about what to report to the National Weather Service when severe weather hits, to help them make better decisions, to help them push along the information to TV stations like News 12 so we can tell everybody else what is going on. That information that you provide could save a life or many lives, and many Skywarn spotters over the years have provided incredibly invaluable information. So again, please make certain that you are considering that. Now, that's for Bradley County. 1 week from tomorrow, 1 week from Thursday the 26th, Harrison Community Center, Harrison, Tennessee, for residents of Hamilton County and Chattanooga, Tennessee. Again, these are mainly designed for residents of these particular areas. If you don't live in these counties or locations, you can register and attend. That's not a problem. But again, they need to know how many folks are going to show up, so in case they have to have too many folks that they have to turn people away for fire marshal safety standards and things like that, then they can get another meeting scheduled or get a larger room so that they can train all the people that show up. I've seen kids as young as 6 or 7 attend these courses it gives kids a little bit more of a bit of control over what feels like an uncontrollable situation. So safety first, safety always, and again, knowing more about what to look for, what to anticipate, where to look for it, and most importantly, again, what you can, call in to the National Weather Service so they can know a little bit more about what's going on in your particular area. Again, those are the next 2 in-person meetings coming up. Now, let's just say you can't make one of the meetings. Well, that's fine too, because the National Weather Service in Nashville and also in Morristown, depending on which one you go to, has an online virtual Skywarn spotter training session. The next one will be tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Central, online. And if you'd like to take the course, very easy. All you do is just log on to their website, Middle Tennessee, weather.gov/OHX/Skywarn. And again, you can take this coming up tomorrow. Another one will be happening Friday, 10 o'clock Central Time. Again, a great opportunity to learn more on that. And then several more over the next few weeks, including an advanced course on Thursday, March 5th at 6:30 p.m. Again, you just show up, you register online, you take the course online, you pass the course, register with your National Weather Service, and you can be a Skywarn spotter. And the more Skywarn spotters we have, the basic idea is that the more folks we have watching what goes on, the better off, the more protected we are all going to be. This is a very good example of what NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, does to protect the citizens and residents of the United States. This is an incredible program. I've been a Skywarn spotter since 1980. So that, again, gives you an idea as to how important this is for me so that I can keep up to date on the latest safety practices and the latest information about radar and satellites and information from the meteorologist and personnel at the National Weather Service, not just tornadoes, but also talking about hail size and where the best place to be when a storm moves through is going to be. If you want to be a storm chaser, fine and dandy, that's great. But this is where you start. You don't just go running out after storms. You don't want to be what Meteorology Professor Emeritus Charles Doswell called storm chasing yahoos. You don't want to be the storm chasers that get everybody else a bad name. So if you'd like to know more about this, this is a good place to learn about how to start as a chaser. This is a spotter class, not a chase class. And yes, there's somebody out there that's going to be maybe persnickety that says, well, duh, it says spotter in the course title. Well, yes, but just to reemphasize that, if you want to learn how to chase, you've got to start somewhere, and you've got to start with basic safety information. That is where you really have to know what is going on, and this is one of the best ways to do something just like that. So please consider becoming a Skywarn spotter. Great opportunity, again, to learn more on things like that. Okay, I think that is going to do it for tonight. Let me just double check. I think we did the school day forecast, we did golf, we did this, we did that, radar, etc. So I think, excuse me, we are about done for tonight. Again, thanks to everybody for tuning in and keeping track of what's going on with the weather. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up and go ahead and sign off for now so that you can get back to your normal evening routine. I'll have more on the forecast coming up on News 12 at 11 tonight, so stay tuned for that. Questions, concerns, ideas, anything else, again, please give me a shout. Email address at the bottom of the screen at aonek@wdef.com. And again, you can watch online or you can watch this on our app. If you haven't downloaded it yet, go to your particular app store and search WDEF Weather, and you can watch Weather Overtime on the app, through the app, at just about any time that you want to on there. We try to update this once at least per weekday evening. Don't really do it on the weekends unless there's something special going on and or something that really needs to be watched very carefully. If there's something more you want to see on here, more information about weather, more information about whatever, we can't do this without you, the viewer. So please give us an idea as to what it is that you might like to see on here. We would love to know more about it. There's something less on here you want to see, please give us a shout. That, again, would really help us out on things like this. All right, that should wrap it up for tonight. It is just about 10:16 Eastern Time on Wednesday, peak of the week, February 18th. Chip Chapman will have your forecast coming up bright and early on Thursday morning. Join him at 5 a.m. on air or online, and I'll be back with you tomorrow night for more details. And, of course, you can always catch the forecast at WDEF.com/weather. Thanks for joining us for Weather Overtime for Wednesday evening, and we'll catch you again tonight at 11 or through the day on Thursday on News 12.